evening, good afternoon, good morning, everyone. This is Andre Park. I want to welcome each and every one of you on. How are you doing there, Mrs. Deanna?
Hey, I'm doing great. Good to see you.
All right, excellent. Good to have you on. Are you in Utah or California?
No, I'm in California. I fly up to Utah on Wednesday, but I am at home in San Diego.
All right. I am so jealous.
It's a nice place to be. I will.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So I know your time is very limited. Your schedule is very super duper tight. And what we normally do on Monday nights is do a little bit of product orientation or product training. I know that's your area of expertise. I don't know which one that's been hot on your list that you really want to talk about. I can kind of let you guide it in that area. I know the ones the team's been buzzing around is probably the Noni, the Slender X, and the skincare. But whatever, you know more about the products than we do, so we'll let you take it from there. Introduce to some, present to others, our Chief Product Officer of NewAge, Mrs. Deanna. How are you?
So, all right, everybody. Like, I'm really happy to be here. And I got to tell you said it because this is the issue. I could talk about all the products for a very long time. So it's very hard not to talk about all the babies because I'm deeply involved. I mean, it's like saying I like one kid better than another, which is almost impossible to do. But before I get into the actual product training, I just want to give a quick background for people who don't know me. Because when I train people on health and wellness, I always tell them, like, listen, everybody, health insurance is sick care. That's what it is.
Amen.
I'm in the business of prevention. I'm in the business of helping you in a natural way, figuring out how to be your best self. Because the body is designed in a way to just be remarkable and easily go to 100. And science tells us we can do that as well. And when you look at centenarians, what's really interesting about them is that they're healthier than the average 70-year-old American. So I want everyone to understand my bias. And my bias is that I believe in the power of the human body. I also believe that through environmental and toxins, through bad relationships, emotional stress, highly processed foods full of chemicals, that all these things play into disease today. And they also play into longevity. And so as we talk a little bit about this tonight, I want you to know I come with those biases. And I also want you to know just a little bit about my background, because I think it's really important to know why people do what they do. There's lots of people that get into jobs or careers for money. And I think that motivates people in a certain way. I got into it because of personal life experience and being an 11-year bulimic, being addicted to pharmaceutical medicines, having really bad skin, spending, oh my gosh, so much money on any diet program in the world. I mean, I don't care if you were giving me battery acid, I would have put it under my tongue if you told me it worked, going through that very vicious cycle of losing weight, gaining it back, and also being a child of a family who were very much tied into Western medicine and pharmaceutical. So whenever there was a problem, let's fix it with a drug. And I was my daddy's little girl, my dad was sheriff, key to the jail. I mean, we lived in a small town. So I was definitely dad's little girl. And my dad was also taking about 17 different types of prescription medications as well. And I just grew up in a home environment where I thought that was normal. And funny enough, like, it is normal, but it's not natural. And just learning to define what that means. Like, what does natural mean? What does get back to natural mean? And so I come to you with that experience. I come to you with the experience of getting control of my bulimia. I come to with you with the experience of getting off of pharmaceutical drugs. I come to you with my personal experience of losing 65 pounds. And I don't even like the word lose, because lose kind of implies that we might find it again, when in reality, I want you to get rid of it to never find it again. So I got rid of 65 pounds. And I watched a man who I love and admire very much change his entire lifestyle, and quite frankly, get off all his pharmaceutical drugs as well, because he made a choice to live what like a very conscious lifestyle. So I come with that feeling, that bias, that experience. When we came together, you know, with NewAge, I was the chief product officer on the RX side and one of the founders of that company. And when we came together, you know, I didn't know what we were going to get with NewAge products. I didn't know what was going to be, I just didn't know, you know, until I dove in. So I heard you talk now. Did you say you wanted me to touch on noni and then the weight loss and then also a little bit of skincare? Is that right?
Yes, that is perfect.
Okay. So I am a stickler for quality, everyone. And how much time do I have, by the way?
As long as you need.
Well, look at you. So I am a stickler for quality, which means if we don't have finished good studies for a product, my expectation is that we would have clinical studies on the raw materials. So on the RX side, before we came over to the NewAge side, you know, when we look to find a grapeseed extract, when we look to find a bergamot, when we look to find these raw ingredients, we're looking to find clinically verified ingredients that have been shown to have a positive health effect with peer-reviewed clinical data. That was our standard. And then we had finished clinical studies on some products as well. So I did not know, walking into the noni side, when we were initially looking at that company, just how substantial they are, and that belief as well. So it's such a beautiful thing we have here, because we have something that's very unique in the industry. When you look across our portfolio of products, when it comes to quality and efficacy, we are, quite frankly, I can't find much comparison, and I cannot find much that is in the same category where they're formulated in a way that has such a positive health benefit. So let me give you an example. If I read a study that says 50 milligrams of bergamot has a positive effect on your blood pressure, lots of competitors read those studies as well. But then that raw ingredient is pretty expensive. So what happens is a lot of people within the supplement industry will take that bergamot, utilize that research, but only formulate in their products to 10 milligrams or 20 milligrams. And that is called not formulated to an efficacious dose. But the consumer doesn't know that because they're not a chemist. On the NewAge side, what we do is when we look at raw materials and we look at the clinical data, one of our promises to you is that we formulate to clinical levels. So when you spend $1 with us, you get that value back and more, and you have a product that will have an efficacious benefit on the body. And that is also why doctors all over the world trust in us. I don't know if you all know this, but we have quite the scientific advisory board, and we also have a very large wellness council. And these are people like pharmacists and eye doctors and veterinarians and herbalists and acupuncturists and MDs and surgeons and across the board medical professionals who have put their trust in us, because we formulate and manufacture at pharmaceutical levels. So I just want to get that out there before we dive into a little bit and have me touch on 3 products tonight. So let's start with noni. Okay, first of all, I want you all to know that noni is really like God's superfood gift to us. And it has been, it has been enjoyed, and we're coming up on our 25th year anniversary, but it is a sustainable, our noni is a sustainable source from the islands of the French Polynesia. And it has been prized by Polynesians for thousands of years. And the health benefits are extremely, there's so much depth to the health benefits. And I want you to know that TNJ has been proven in dozens of clinical human studies. And what that product has is it contains iridoids and more than 275 different phytonutrients. So it's like the perfect natural antidote to today's like stressful life. And we're all stressed, right? And when we're stressed, what happens is our cortisol and hormones get out of balance. It causes effect on our blood pressure, on our sleeping, on our skin, and our digestion. The list goes on. But truly, noni not only will help you feel healthier, give you more energy, but it helps and strengthens and balances the entire body. So let's just go through a couple of the benefits. And there is a reason why it was used in French Polynesia, why it's been used for over thousands of years. And there is a reason why we have proven it out in dozens of human clinical studies, because it works. So what does it do? It helps support the immune system, helps support healthy cardiovascular system. And if you don't believe me, what you really want to do is just do a search for TNJ clinical studies, and you will see that it's been published by peer-reviewed scientific journals. And just as, as an FYI, as we start to go through the benefits, so that you understand what truly makes our noni unique in the world of noni, is that it's the only commercial noni fruit. I really want you to hear my words. It is the only commercial noni fruit that has been substantiated with placebo-controlled trials. That is pharmaceutical grade trials. And as stated in the 2018 publication in PubMed, all the peer-reviewed human intervention studies to date have only used the French Polynesian noni, which is ours. And what's interesting about that is the geographical factors, create a divergent photochemical and nutrient composition. And so I want you to know that other sources of noni or other noni products may have totally different pharmacological profiles. So know that, which is just so exciting, because we get the highest quality on the planet, and that entire source of noni is ours. It's ours, and it's ours exclusively. And I also want you to know that our source is the only one with the EU Safe Novel Food approval as well, based on our noni too. And it was also approved as a new food resource for China, and also approved functional food license by the Chinese government for immune function, which, just so you know, is not easy to do. So let's go back to some of the other benefits just of noni on its own, so that you all just kind of like really understand what a great product we have here. And I always tell my folks, like, listen, everybody, we got to make noni sexy, because noni is sexy. It's sexy for what it does in the body. So supports the immune system, supports the healthy cardiovascular system, boosts energy, endurance. It can help assist with weight management. It is the leading source of iridoids, right, in the body, which has a tremendous a tremendous effect on the system. And it also, helps sustain healthy joint functionality, mobility, helps fight harmful free radicals in the body. What's a free radical? That is when we get exposure to toxins in our environment, free radicals is which go I think of them as like bad guys. They go through your body, destroying your cells, you know? So it really helps deal with free radicals in your body. And listen, I know I'm going to talk a lot. So if I'm talking too much and you really need me to pause or explain anything, let me know, okay? Because I can slow down and pause a little bit. It also protects against DNA damage in your body, helps, like I said, strengthen and balance the whole body. That's because it's an excellent adaptogen. And adaptogen means it helps the body relieve stress, can help support several systems, numerous systems in the body, help guards against, you know, the ravages of aging, and because it helps nourish cells, tissues, and organs. It helps support normal blood sugar metabolism, can help you maintain central nervous system health, has a mood balancing effect, can help, you know, like improve physical performance levels, which is why we have so many athletes that take the product. And really, when you look at it, it supports the body's natural defenses. Remember, your body is remarkable. And when I end with supports the body's natural defenses, that is because this is real health insurance. This is what helps the body stay strong against all the things that we get exposed to every day. You know, and remember, and for those of you who don't know what an iridoid is, I realize I didn't explain that. It's iridoids are found in over 50 different plant families in the world. And there's many different have been identified, but noni as one of the highest levels of iridoids on the planet. And it is the ability for a plant to protect itself, and the iridoids benefits in the body. I mean, that's what makes this product so great. Is its normalizing de-stressor effect on the system. Any question on noni?
Oh wow! I just got I feel like I just got a master's degree in noni and all the benefits of it. From the sounds of it, I need to probably go take another shot of noni right now.
You know, noni has sustained with one of our largest customer bases, and you know why? Because it works. You know, and it just has. There's so many testimonials about the way it works in the body, and sometimes it's hard to narrow it down just to one thing, but that's because the iridoids are associated with a huge range of health benefits and really provide protection against a broad range of physical, chemical, and biological stressors. And so that's what's so great about the product, is because it does all of this without producing toxic side effects. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's something, right? I mean,
exactly.
You can support your body and your nervous system and protect and support your body against all your environmental and chemical stressors with the iridoids having that normalizing effect on the body, and you've got no side effects. So that's why I'm always like, guys, we are health insurance.
I love it.
Right.
Now, one of the questions I do hear from a lot of people is, you know, how much should they drink? What time of day should they drink it? Where are they going to get the best results from? Things like that.
Yeah, there is no very specific time of day, because it can have an energizing effect on the body. Maybe not right before bed, because you don't want to negatively impact your sleep. But here's the good thing about noni, and quite frankly, many of our products in the line, is it can be therapeutically dosed. What does that mean? There's maintenance dosing, which is just like that on the label. But if you suffer from a health issue, like any of the stuff that I mentioned just now, you can easily double, triple your dose. And what I suggest you do is keep a little journal and write down, like, how am I feeling? You know, what effect did this have on me? Because when you do that, then you have a real body awareness on the product and its impact on your system. And so I tell people all the time, when I thought we were exposed to virus, COVID, man, that entire family, I mean, we went through a bottle of noni in 2 days, a whole bottle. We weren't messing around. And I was doing like 4 shots on top of that a day of the immune shots on noni. So if I don't want sick, it costs money to be sick, right? It's expensive. So somebody's like, a whole bottle of noni in a day or two? What? And I think that's right, honey, because it is expensive to be sick. And I am not messing around. So if I feel like we're exposed or anybody's got flu symptoms or cold systems or even exposure to COVID and I want to strengthen my immune system, boy, I'm going for it because it is a food and it's almost impossible to overdose. So, and you know what I did get? So sometimes people complain about the taste of noni, right? It's an acquired taste. But I think, what's a bigger complaint is being sick. Who wants to be sick? Who wants to not feel good? Like that's even worse, right? They sent me actual noni puree, like the hardcore stuff. And I was like, all right, I'll take it. I'll be taking, because I've read the peer-reviewed journals. I know the power of the product. I also know all the testimonials of the product and just how incredible they are. So you can take it anytime during the day. The dose on the bottle is really a maintenance dose. And if you're suffering from any issues, I would try doubling it or tripling it. See your health benefit, how that feels. Make some notes in it and a little bit of a health journal, which is always good for just awareness. And if you're suffering or you've had surgery or you have an injury or you're exposed to virus or cold or flu, feel free to updo, your as much as you can because it can have such a positive effect on the body.
Powerful. Excellent. So
Deanna, let me ask her a question real quick. Because I want to ask you a question real quick because I really, really love the Rejuvenex. I think it's one of the best products next to noni on the market.
So good, right?
Every time I give it to somebody, I get a positive result. So can you kind of give me an idea of why you formulate it? Why does it work so well? What makes it different than people just taking, because I've heard a little bit about it, but I'd like to just have a simpler version from you. And what we want to do is we want you to talk about this because we're probably going to cut these up into small videos on each product so we can get a little bit more teaching people more about these products that we are not associated with just yet as well. I know I'm sold on it, but we're trying to teach the other people about it.
Yeah, okay. So let's talk about Rejuvenex and why we formulated it. First, so I just want you to understand Rejuvenex and the thought process behind it. When you go out into the energy drink market or the energy market in general, woo, that's a minefield. That's a lot of problems. I'll tell you what that is. That is artificial colors, artificial flavors, sugar, synthetic caffeine, you name it. It is out there and it is not positive. And so when you look at the energy drink market, it is not a good situation because all those products end up causing heart issues for people. They're associated with all types of issues. They're just very hard on the body. So when we looked at the energy product, we like to tell people all the time, like, hey, Rejuvenex is 28 energy drinks in the bottle and so much more. When we decided to formulate Rejuvenex, we wanted to go with green coffee bean extract, which means it's the most natural, purest form of caffeine we could get. But we didn't want people to suffer with jitters, and we wanted to make a very unique product. So we combined it with an amino acid called L-theanine. And L-theanine has been subjected to dozens and dozens of peer-reviewed research studies that shows it helps both parts of our brain talk to each other. So
Amazing.
what does L-theanine do? Really helps with focus. We have a huge customer base within the collegiate market, even high schoolers, people that have a hard time focusing. So you take a pure form of caffeine, you take an amino acid like L-theanine, you put it together in a clinical dose with also chamomile, which causes a calming effect on the body. You have a very interesting mixture that you can't find anywhere else. And I didn't even touch on the positive effects from all of the other superfruits that were in the product. But you're getting an instant reaction from Rejuvenex because people can focus better. They feel more energetic, but they don't feel jittery. They don't feel anxious. So it's a very unique, energetic product.
I tell you what, I take at 10 o'clock every day and I'm good to go for 10 hours straight. I'm just telling you. And I'm a person that has diabetes. And so for me, it has been life-changing to me. And I've got my diabetes under control, but still don't mean when I eat something, I don't want to crash. But I'm telling you, I'm very much so. Now, you've talked about that product. Now, a product I can't say because I'm a dumb Oklahoma boy from Oklahoma. But how do you say Lucem? Am I saying it right?
Lucem. You're saying
now,
it right.
I'm really so. Now, what really excites me about that product is you guys are doing like $1 million a week in Italy, just a little country of Italy. Isn't that correct? Just with that product.
And remember, Italians, and the French, they really pride themselves on great skincare. Now, I want you to know something. First, why we did it. The modern day beauty industry is a mess. It's just a mess. Regulations for skincare ingredients have not changed for decades.
Right.
So it was like the last time was 1938 when Congress voted to regulate cosmetics. So take a guess what that means. Lots of ingredients on the market today that should not go in our skin because your skin's your largest organ, right? Skin is not a barrier, it is a carrier. It is a pathway into the blood. So we approached the Lucem brand with that knowingness, knowing that there are the biggest companies in the game, compromise on the quality of ingredients to make more money. Their focus is how much money can they make? But I always ask people, but at the cost of your health. So should your health be up for debate? No, it shouldn't. And I always remind people, there was once a time where cigarettes were deemed safe by the tobacco industry, right? And when you look out into the world, the reality is this: there are so many different unrelated toxic ingredients that have side effects. Everything from itchy eyes, drooping eyelids, DNA damage. There's so much information out there in the skincare industry. And the reality is most people today are putting between 10 and 20 bad chemicals applied to their skin on a daily basis. A little bit every day adds up to a health nightmare. So I wanted to say that because we know that there's chemicals that disrupt the DNA and immune systems within the skincare industry, and we needed to do something different. And we also knew we weren't going to test on animals, that we were going to be a part of the revolution for skincare to do things differently. And we asked the question, like, what can't a brand have at all? Why can't it be non-toxic, non-GMO, gluten-free, vegan, high quality, sustainable, affordable, scientifically proven, and last but not least, efficacious? We can do it, and we did it. And it took a long time, but we did it. It's safe for you, it's safe for your friends and family, and it's safe for everybody you love. And that's really important, but it also is backed by clinical data to show that if you spend the money with us, you get all that value back and more. So just talking about the Lucium lineup, first of all, I want you to know that there's 61 different botanical ingredients across the line, and there's 30 active ingredients. Really the hero of the whole product line is the Total Face Serum. And that is literally like it's 7 serums in one.
So what you're saying, if you're going to spend money on something on a woman right now, and you're going to spend $70 on your face every month, you would not live without that product, correct?
I would not live without that product. Do you know why?
Yeah.
Never, because you will never need another serum in your life, whether you're 25, or 65, 25 and want to like enhance your youthful appearance, or 65 and you want to deal with fine lines and wrinkles. This serum was designed to walk with you through life. And when you look at good effective serums, they cost around $100. And most women, especially women who really care about their skincare routine, will use at least 2 serums in their routine, because usually serums only have one benefit, whether it's hydrating, firming, brightening, and people end up spending hundreds of dollars on those. But ours is all your problem solved, because it literally is like 7 serums in one.
Well, my wife loves it. So, the key is now something about sincerity. I think that's something for when you got zits and different problems. Like my son's been telling me he's got problems. So I ordered him a bunch of this the other day because I hear how good it is, but I didn't really know until someone started telling me. But let me ask you this. Are you guys working on maybe some videos that will just show a person like a woman, what she needs to get started with? Sometimes they can't afford the whole package, but what's the best package for them to get started? And then they start adding certain things to regiment and things. Are y'all working on maybe a real simple 30-minute video, something?
Yeah, and I think they've actually
we dumb Oklahoma people, we need some help with this. We people down here in States, we need some help,
You can reach out to Rick Redford on that, because I think they've done them already and actually have them in Europe, because for acne, I would take anyone that had acne and I would put them on our face cleanser, because it has hyaluronic acid, botanical extracts that help cleanse the skin, hydrate the skin, moisturize the skin, but it's really, the pH is balanced. So it's really good for acne skin. And then I would get them the exfoliator as well, because it really helps remove dead skin, clean the pores, and it fights against problematic skin, and then Skincerity, you're absolutely right. As far as like helping to clean pores, fight problematic skin, hydrate the skin, 3 patents, 10 publication, 22 grant awards on that product.
I know.
It's a really great combination. But I want anyone that's listening to this to know that the skincare industry is a toxic industry. And so you really, whether it's us or someone else, you really have to make sure you've done your due diligence, because I can't tell you how many people think they're doing the cost of beauty is not worth DNA damage to the body. And you should be able to have it all. And having it all means you're with a conscious company who cares about having an efficacious product, but not at the cost of your health and well-being.
Well, and I'll tell you something. We know what Noni does for the skin. So we know that we're going to adapt some things with Noni eventually.
Right.
We already know we got some good products with silk and different things too. But the key is I can just see what you're going to be doing. Your mind's moving a million miles.
Oh, and I love Noni. And I love Noni too. And just the different things that we'll be able to introduce that product with as well, because the benefits of the body. But in general, I want everybody listening that knows that, like, I got you. Yeah. My team's got you, right? If you spend money with us, we want you to be happy, and we got you, which means it's going to work and you're not going to waste your money, because this industry is full of a lot of stuff that is scary. I can't even believe people put it on their body.
Let me tell you something, Dan, not to tell somebody's story of how it cures something, but we had a friend of ours that got hit by an airbag really bad, like burned their 3rd-degree burns. And they just told them they're going to live with it. There's nothing they could do. They got to go back and do plastic and do 14 surgeries. Guess what? A friend of theirs told them what they did. So they did take a Noni, and they just started putting the Noni and every day just throwing it on their face. Within 6 weeks, almost back to normality. Now, that's not saying anything cured, but whatever's in Noni, it works as good topically as it does internally. Now, they did have purple skin for a while because the grapes don't do very good for your skin. They may be doing something good, but they sure stain. But I just remember I saw it happen so many times. We don't make medical claims, but when you see things where people do things for real, it makes you go, whoa, there's something God put in this. Ain't nothing that chemicals can do, but God had to do something about that.
Oh, 100%. I believe 100% that product was a gift from God. And I don't know if you know this, but I wish I had the exact name. I should look right now to see if I can pull it up. But it was used in a burn center.
Exactly. In World War II.
Yeah. And in Asia as well. Like it was it's no joke.
Yeah. I had the Baptist facility in Oklahoma City buying millions of cases from us for a while because they were using on people. But, it's all about doctors and nurses and getting the education, because the key is they're online. If something goes wrong, you got to be careful with natural things, because
just because it's natural doesn't mean it's safe.
Right.
We got to make sure that is definitely known to any of the listeners. Just because something's natural doesn't mean it's safe. I mean, there's mushrooms out there that are natural. You take one bite and you're dead, right?
And now there's something else I want to ask you real quick, okay? Because I'm trying to hit some questions I've been wanting. We got you here, so I think Andre's gonna kill me later because I just had these questions and I'm like, I got you, and I'm gonna answer these questions. And my camera's not working right for some reason. My Zoom's not going in and out, so you're seeing my. Right. But listen to me. Now I'll tell you something. I got my first box of Moa in about a month ago, and I was on the back porch, and I gave my little sister, my little niece. And they all about killed me. They just said, oh my God, they're all about throwing it up. But I tell you what, I took the mango shake, and I mixed it up half and half, and it tastes great that way. But I just got to tell you, I think that Moa is an unbelievable product. I think it's y'all's number one seller over there. I think
it is one of our number one sellers. But I want you to know that Moa is one of those things it's Moa as mother of all. And the thing about Moa is, a lot of people love or hate the taste. I love it. And almost everyone who drinks it for 3 to 5 days says, I can't live without it.
Yeah, I know. But here's the thing. Let me tell you something. Okay. You know what? There's a reason they make fruit punch, because people like fruit punch. So let me ask you something. Is there a way maybe we could use monk fruit or something natural? So I can't use anything with Splenda. I can't use anything with
I would never put Splenda in.
I can't stand it. Those things are mind controlling drugs, and I don't want that. So I'm just telling you, I love monk fruit. Now I know when you look into it, I tell you what, I use it in a lot of stuff, and it doesn't cause any of my sugars to go up or anything, but maybe it's something we need to look into. And I'm just telling you, because, as distributors, our new brand partner, we're trying to push you to do some cool stuff, because let me tell you, when it tastes better, my little kids drink it. Now, listen, my little boy, he's my only person that never had asthma. Both my girls had asthma, and that's what we started him off Noni. And he's the only one of all my kids that never had asthma, but he started drinking Noni when he was like a baby. And he'd go in there and drink the handy packs. We used to have the little handy packs, kind of like the Moa packs. And he would go in there and drink 4 or 5 of those in a day. And he was my healthiest child. Matter of fact, I don't think he's had fever but 2 times, and he's 16 years old now. So I'm just telling you, it's, when you deal with 2 children that have asthma and they said they're going to live with the rest of their life, and after 2 years of being on Noni juice, they stop having asthma attacks, and they haven't had an asthma attack in almost 23 years, you get to become a pretty good believer, not based off things, just that you thought you're going to live with your children with this rest of their life, because we used to have to put the inhalers and the machines on them every night so they'd go to sleep. So, I don't know what it was, but before we wasn't drinking juice, we had to deal with that. So I'm just telling you, we need to
remember, these products are adaptogens. They have a normalizing effect on the body, which brings the body back into balance. And when the body is in balance, it performs the way God made it to perform, right?
Yeah,
that's right. That's what we mean by an adaptogen. And Moa, when you mentioned Moa, it has a very interesting organic medicinal mushrooms, agaricus, lion's mane, reishi, maitake, shiitake, cordyceps, all these different mushrooms that most people never have in their life, you know, that are directly attached to, MOA has the most expensive raw material of any other product we have in our line, you know, on how it affects the body. And it was really, and like Noni has an enormous amount of testimonials. I mean, just the reishi, which is known as mushroom of immortality and mushroom of spiritual potency. I mean, gotta love that. And it's a rich history in Chinese medicine and a very long tradition of medicinal use. And we use a very specific type of medicinal mushroom because mushrooms are like sponges. They absorb anything they're grown on. And ours are grown on organic purple corn from Peru, which means they take this purple corn, they ground it up into a soil, and the mushrooms are grown onto the soil. It's a patented process. And then the mushrooms are literally organic medicinal mushrooms because they've absorbed everything from the purple Peruvian corn, which makes them even stronger. But I will tell you, you know, these mushrooms are tremendous. I mean, like if shiitake has been studied since the Ming Dynasty in Japan, the long history of medicinal use known as, like, its nickname, it's the elixir of life. You know, when you look at lion's mane mushroom, you know, and
I had a family growing up. They used to go out every year during the springtime and they would pick mushrooms. And I hate to say it, they deep fried them because they loved them so much.
Okay, well, that's.
I know, but listen to me. They were big ones too. I mean, we're talking about monster mushrooms, but our family, you know, I used to think they were crazy, but they went out there and tore them up.
Yeah, deep frying is probably not the best way to do them, you know. And then our Maitake Gold 404, which is a patented Maitake mushroom that's been studied at Kobe Pharmaceutical, Sloan Cancer Memorial Center, University of Illinois, and has a patent based on, you know, its effects on the body to help your natural killer cells, you know, liven up and do their job. All of that is in MOA and so much more in MOA. So it is, for those of you who haven't tried them. And the good news is these are all natural food-based products. So MOA can be taken, you know, therapeutically. Noni can be taken therapeutically. Like all these different products can be taken at uptick doses if you have health issues you'd like to need support on.
So Deanna, let me ask you this. What are the products that we have? Now, I tell you what, I'm really sold on the mango shape right now. And it's only because something about mangoes and noni together helps reduce acid reflux. For me, it has. And everybody I give it to, I don't know what it is, but I can get rid of my acid reflux if I go, because I like tomatoes and I like salsa, but sometimes it don't like you later, you know? And so when I go drink it, I mean, I don't have to take Tums or anything, you know, and you keep taking Tums, you get calcium deposits, and then you end up getting bone spurs in your body because then you build up unnatural. So, you know, it's just certain things you learn about your body as you go to the doctor and they start telling you, hey, Miss Roland, you're getting bone spurs because you're taking all this calcium that's not natural for you. And then it makes sense. So when you start learning
calcium carbonate, which is the worst form on the planet, and that's
exactly
what causes buildup in the body.
Yeah. See, you know your stuff. That's why we're asking you. I'm just glad I get to sit there and prick you a little bit tonight.
Yeah, it's not a problem. Listen, even acid reflux is your own body telling you you're doing something not right. And
I know.
Probably don't.
I like Mexican food. That's my problem.
Right. Yeah. But as we, you know, when your body speaks to you, and I think it's our job to take care of our body. So when your body speaks to you, you have a choice.
I know. Do
you listen? Or do you
or you die? You listen or you die, basically.
That's right. And like I said,
you be proud of me. I've lost 45 pounds since last year. So I'm working on even more. So
I am proud of you. So that is fantastic. Very good job.
And I'm planning to use every one of your products to get healthy and share my story in a year and say, hey,
that's great. So I
want to be back to
Slenderize.
That's right.
So as a Slenderize, you know, just so you know, I'll just give you a quick Slenderize backstory for anyone wanting to lose weight. Now, as an 11-year bulimic and as someone who's 65 pounds heavier than I am now, weight loss is my jam, right? I am very sensitive. I don't want to put anybody in this process because what happens in the weight loss industry is you lose weight, get off the products, you gain it all back and more because you're in metabolic syndrome. because what happens is you go out into the world of weight loss, and it works on one primary method of action, and that is appetite suppressant. Suppress your appetite, you lose weight, but you put your body in metabolic syndrome, which means when you go back to normal, you gain it all back and more. So it's a very vicious cycle. I'm not playing that game. As an eating disorder survivor and someone who's helped women and men all over the world for decades with eating disorders, we weren't going to play that game. So we knew when we made a weight loss product, we needed to tackle the reasons why people gain weight in the first place. Environmental toxins, hormone imbalances, blood sugar issues, the list goes on the many different reasons why people gain weight. So that's why one thing doesn't fit all. So we knew we had to make a product that supported the human body in all these ways. When you put people on our optimals, you put them on the detox, you put them on the drops, everywhere. I don't care where we are in the world, people get results. And here's the great news. When they get off the product, so many people end up still losing more weight because their body's back into balance where it should be in the first place. And they've changed their life, and they've rebalanced their life in a way where they just continue to see success, and they're not even on the weight loss drops anymore. And so that's what's really fantastic about what makes our weight loss program so different is we tackle the major issues why people gain weight in the first place, everything from even stress, low functioning metabolism. And we touch on all of that so that we can see success everywhere in the world. And we see success in Korea and China and Japan and Canada and North America and South America. We see success in Australia and New Zealand. Why? Because it's a very comprehensive program. And nobody ever complains that they're hungry. You know what they say? I have a hard time eating all the food you want me to eat. That is the complaint. And so
what were the three products again that you just mentioned? The
Slenderized drops. Yeah, but if you really want to power up your system, so if you have more than 15 to 20 pounds to lose, you definitely want to be on Restorex.
Restorex, that's the one that operates kind of like a cleanse.
It's a detox. Because what happens is if you don't add a detox to your system, you end up having rebound weight gain, because if your fat holds all your toxins like a suitcase. And when you start to lose fat, your suitcase opens up. So the body's really brilliant, right? There's no messing around with the brilliance of the body. And so then the body wants to store all those chemicals back in the fat. And so it can cause rebound weight gain. So we want to help break that cycle. Restorex is key. And then when we also want to give people all the vitamins and minerals they need to give their cellular nutrition what they need through the optimals, you put that together, it's an amazing kit. If someone has low energy, you throw in Rejuvenex. I am telling you, we see miracles.
Well, we know you take at least 10 of those a day, because I've never saw anybody have more energy than you.
I don't take them. But right now
I'm
I
just
am
messing
drinking
with
Elite.
I'm messing with you. You know you take them every once in a while because you have to. You travel too much.
When I was traveling international, I literally flew around the whole world on this one trip. Like in 10 days, I literally made a circle around the globe. And I was speaking almost every day. And I remember I landed in Europe, and I had just been through Asia, Japan, China, Korea. Like now I'm going over into Europe. And I woke up at a weird hour, and I was like, where am I? Oh my gosh, where am I? I didn't remember where I was. And I was so out of it, that right before my European presentation, it was a very big presentation, I popped 8 Rejuvenex, and I was on fire. I was like, oh, this is the best day of my life. I'm like the best I've ever been. I was like,
and I'll tell you what I really love about it too, Deanna, is there was a time I had to have a meeting. I did a Noni meeting. I did another meeting. I did 3 Zooms in a day. And then I had a spiritual meeting I had to go do. And I tell you what, I had to pop like 6 of them that day. But I tell you what, I went to bed and I slept better than I ever had. I woke up the next day, and I love it because you have no crash. That's the problem with all these energy drinks and stuff. That's the one thing I got to tell you how much I love you about that product. I really do.
I love you for loving that product. So very good. And
you're never going to have anybody sell that product more than me, period. So
that is so awesome. I used to take a boxing, I would have a boxing belt, ding, And I'd be like, let's go. And I'd pretend I was an announcer. Let's fight against the energy drink market. And I would like say all the bad things about the energy drink. And who's the winner of the boxing match? Rejuvenex.
I've had an idea. We just need to take one shot of the noni, put one capsule of the Rejuvenex in it, shake it all up, and have it go, because I'm just telling you, that would be on fire. Just to have something quick. You look at 5 Hour Energy Drink, bunch of crud out there, but people take it because they're just needing some help. They're about to die. And they're going to die on the road if they don't drink something. But if we can get them moved to something more natural without the side effects, that'll help them.
And then they drink things that strip the vitamins and minerals out of their body.
Yeah, Mountain Dews and everything else.
Well, I have to tell you too that this was fun, and an hour went by so fast.
Andre, you got any questions? Come on, hit her quick. Come on. We got at least 9 more minutes with her.
She has answered all of mine, and they were spot on. Great, excellent. And thank you so very much for being here with us today. And can't wait till we see you on stage, because I hear that you're something else on a stage.
You know what, guys? This is what I believe. I think I had an eating disorder. I was addicted to pharmaceutical medicines, all joking aside, right? I had a lot of pain in my life, so I could get through it and I could know what it was like to be in that. I look at that experience as a huge gift in my life because it allows me to have compassion and empathy for those who are in that situation and need help figuring out how to get the body back, how to get the body back into balance, and how to really get the body back you want. And so for anybody who's ever listening or anybody who chooses to join us, we're all about like, how can we help you feel your best? How can we help you wake up every day and feel great? It is normal to break down and deteriorate. It's normal to feel like crap. It is normal to be on a lot of pharmaceutical drugs. But please, please, both of you, remember this. It is not natural. It is a reflection of our lifestyle choices, and it's a reflection of who we hang around with, reflection of the air we breathe, reflection of how much we move our bodies. It is a reflection of all of that. We have this beautiful gift of a life. So a little tweak here and there, can give us energy and enthusiasm and a feeling of well-being that a lot of people have forgotten about because they think it's normal to not feel good.
Well, guess what? I got to play a little music for you just real quick because, this is what I feel when I see you right now. All right. I'll be quiet and leave y'all alone. Thank y'all.
Hey, gentlemen, it was fantastic.
Same here. I sure appreciate you being on. And with that being said, Mr. Roland or Ms. Diane, anything you want to say with the good folks before we go for today?
No, I think you have a choice, right? You have a choice in life. Do you want to feel great or do you want to feel like everybody else? I think it's sexy to feel healthy.
Yes, it is. That it is. All right. Well, Ms. Deanna, thank you so very much for gracing us this evening with your wealth of knowledge. And we look forward to seeing you. I think the big event we have coming up in October, you're going to be there for that one?
Probably. I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. My schedule's so crazy. So I do not think down to October. Probably it's on my schedule.
Good deal. Well, with that being said, thank you so very much and take care and God bless. Mr. Roland, you got something for us?
He's just ready to dance. I think
that's his nickname is
ready
DJ
to
Roland.
Move.
You gotta know me. I'm out here by having fun. I'm a shark. I'm a dolphin. I'm everything.